The bullies pushed the line, mocking her, tripping her, thinking she wouldn't fight back. But they were wrong. Dead wrong. This disabled black girl had endured their cruelty for too long, until the day they crossed the line. 3 minutes later, they weren't laughing. They weren't smirking. They were on the floor, begging for mercy. This is the story of courage, justice, and the moment the hunted became the hunter. Stay tuned, because what happens next will leave you breathless. Oh, and before we begin, drop a comment below and let me know where you're watching from. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more real-life stories of hope, heart, and heroes who didn't back down. Now, let's begin. The autumn leaves crunched underfoot as 14-year-old Naomi Williams made her way down the cracked sidewalk of Lincoln High School. Her right leg, stiff from cerebral palsy, dragged slightly with each step, but her chin was high, her dark eyes fierce with quiet determination. She clutched her books tightly against her chest, her backpack slung over one shoulder. Around her, students laughed, shoved, and shouted. Normal high school chaos. But Naomi had long since learned to read the whispers, the sideways glances, the muffled giggles that followed her like shadows. Look at her. Walks like a robot. Why does she even come here? Should be in some special school. Naomi swallowed hard, her grip tightening on her books. She was used to it, mostly. But today, something felt heavier in the air. Then she saw them. Tyler, Jason, and Marcus. The kings of Lincoln's unofficial Cool Kids Club. Football jocks with too much confidence and too little kindness. They leaned against the brick wall near the lockers, smirking as she approached. Naomi's stomach twisted. She could turn, take the long way to class, but no, she wouldn't let them dictate her path. She kept walking, and then, "Whoa! Watch out, cripple!" Tyler stuck his foot out at the last second. Naomi tripped, her books flying, her body slamming hard onto the linoleum floor. Pain shot through her knee as laughter erupted around her. "Oh!" She fell like a sack of potatoes, Jason howled. "Maybe she should crawl to class instead," Marcus added, grinning. Naomi's vision blurred, not from the pain, but from the humiliation. She tried to push herself up, but her weak leg trembled beneath her. Then, "Touch her again, and I'll break your fingers one by one." The voice was low, dangerous. The laughter died instantly. Naomi looked up to see her older sister, Aaliyah Williams, standing over her like a storm given human form. At 22, Aaliyah was a professional MMA fighter, toned, tattooed, and terrifying when she wanted to be. Her dark eyes burned with fury as she stared down the boys. Tyler swallowed hard, but tried to play tough. "Oh, what? You gonna fight us, girl?" Aaliyah didn't blink. "No," she cracked her knuckles. "I'm gonna hurt you." And then, Aaliyah moved like lightning. 1 second, Tyler was smirking. The next, he was on the ground, clutching his stomach, gasping for air. Jason lunged. Big mistake. Aaliyah sidestepped, grabbed his wrist, and twisted. Crack. He screamed. Marcus, the smartest of the three, turned to run. Aaliyah grabbed the back of his shirt and slammed him face first into a locker. 3 bullies. 3 takedowns. 3 minutes. The hallway was dead silent. Naomi, still on the floor, stared in shock. Aaliyah turned to her, her expression softening instantly. She knelt, gently helping Naomi up. "You okay, little lion?" she whispered. Naomi's lip trembled. I didn't need you to fight for me." Aaliyah wiped a tear from Naomi's cheek. I know. But sometimes people need to learn the hard way. As the bullies groaned on the floor, something inside Naomi shifted. This wasn't just about revenge. This was about justice. And the day was far from over. The principal's office smelled like old coffee and regret. Aaliyah sat stiffly in the chair, her arms crossed, her jaw set. Across from her, Principal Higgins, a balding man with tired eyes, rubbed his temples like he was trying to erase the last hour from existence. Miss Williams, you understand that we have a zero-tolerance policy for violence, correct? Aaliyah didn't flinch. And what's your policy on bullying? Higgins sighed. We handle discipline appropriately. Really? Aaliyah leaned forward, her voice a low blade. Because from where I was standing, you've been handling it by letting those little punks terrorize my sister for months. Naomi, sitting beside her, stared at her lap. Her knee still ached from the fall, but the throbbing in her chest was worse. She hated this, hated being the reason Aaliyah was in trouble, hated that no one had ever stepped in for her before. Higgins adjusted his glasses. Be that as it may, you can't just assault students in the hallway. Assault? Aaliyah scoffed. I gave them a free lesson in consequences. Naomi finally spoke up, her voice quiet but firm. They tripped me, on purpose. They do stuff like that all the time. Higgins hesitated. Naomi, if there's been ongoing harassment, you should have reported it. Aaliyah let out a sharp laugh. Oh, right, because the systems worked so well for her so far. The principal's phone buzzed. He glanced at it, then exhaled. The boys' parents are here, and they're upset. The school parking lot was a battlefield of egos. Tyler's father, a thick-necked man with a police badge on his belt, jabbed a finger at Aaliyah. You're lucky my boy doesn't press charges. Jason's mother, a woman with sharp nails and sharper words, hissed, She's a grown woman attacking kids. Aaliyah didn't back down. Your kids are cowards who pick on someone half their size. Naomi stood slightly behind her sister, heart pounding. She wanted to disappear, but then she saw them. Tyler, Jason, and Marcus lurked near their parents, smirking. Tyler even had the nerve to wink at her. They think they won. Something inside Naomi snapped. She stepped forward. They're not sorry. Her voice was louder now. And they'll do it again. Silence. Then Marcus's dad snorted. Kids will be kids. They didn't mean anything by it. Aaliyah's fists clenched. But before she could speak, Naomi grabbed her hand. Let's go, Naomi whispered. As they walked away, Tyler called after them, Better watch your back, cripple. Aaliyah spun around, but Naomi held her tight. Number, not like this. There was a fire in Naomi's eyes now, a plan forming. That night, in their small apartment, Naomi sat cross-legged on her bed, staring at her sister. Teach me. Aaliyah paused, mid-punching bag combo. Teach you what? How to fight. Aaliyah wiped sweat from her brow. Nah, little lion, that's not your battle. Yes, it is, Naomi's voice cracked. I don't want you getting in trouble for me. I want to stand up for myself. Aaliyah studied her, really studied her. Saw the same stubbornness she had at that age. Finally, she nodded. All right, but we do it my way. Meanwhile, Tyler, Jason, and Marcus weren't done. At Jason's house, they huddled over a phone, scrolling through a viral video of Aaliyah's MMA highlights. Dude, his sister is legit crazy, Marcus muttered. Tyler smirked. So, she can't be everywhere, and Naomi's still just Naomi. Jason cracked his knuckles. Tomorrow, we finish this. Back at the apartment, Naomi stood in front of the mirror, mimicking Aaliyah's stance. "Keep your guard up," Aaliyah instructed, "and never let them see you scared." Naomi adjusted her posture. "What if I am scared?" Aaliyah placed a hand on her shoulder. "Then scare them more." Naomi took a deep breath. Tomorrow would come, and this time she'd be ready. The next morning, the air at Lincoln High felt charged, like the quiet before thunder cracks open the sky. Naomi walked through the front gates alone. Her sister had wanted to come with her, but Naomi had insisted. "This is my fight." Her right leg still ached from yesterday's fall, but her grip on her backpack straps was steady. She could feel eyes on her, whispers trailing behind her like shadows. "That's her. The one whose sister beat up Tyler. I heard she's gonna get jumped today." Naomi ignored them. She had spent all night training with Aaliyah, learning how to shift her weight, how to use her smaller size as an advantage, how to strike where it hurt. She wasn't an MMA fighter, but she wasn't helpless anymore. Then she saw them. Tyler, Jason, and Marcus leaned against the lockers, their smirks sharper than ever. Tyler's lip was still swollen from Aaliyah's punch. "Look who decided to show up," Tyler called out. Naomi kept walking. Jason stepped into her path. "Oh, no, you don't. We ain't done with you." Naomi stopped, looked him dead in the eye. "Move." The hallway froze. Tyler laughed. "Or what? You gonna cry? Call your sister again?" Naomi's pulse roared in her ears. She remembered Aaliyah's words. "Never let them see you scared." She set her backpack down slowly. "Number this time, I handle you myself." For a second, the bullies hesitated. Then Tyler lunged, shoving her hard. Naomi stumbled, but didn't fall. That's when the crowd formed, a circle of students, phones out, recording. "Fight! Fight! Fight!" Tyler swung. Naomi ducked, just like Aaliyah taught her, and drove her elbow into his ribs. "Oof!" Tyler wheezed, doubling over. Jason charged. Naomi sidestepped, yanked his arm, and used his own momentum to send him crashing into the lockers. Marcus froze. "What the—" Naomi didn't give him time to think. She swept his legs out from under him. Bam! And suddenly, all three bullies were on the ground. The hallway was silent. Then, "Holy crap!" someone shouted. "Naomi just wrecked them!" Naomi stood there, chest heaving, staring down at the boys who had tormented her for months. Tyler clutched his ribs, his face twisted in pain and disbelief. You're just a cripple." Naomi leaned down, her voice low and fierce. "And you're just a coward." The principal's office was packed this time. Naomi, Aaliyah, the bullies, their furious parents, and, for the first time, teachers who had seen what happened. "This is outrageous," Tyler's dad barked. "She attacked them." "After they attacked her," Aaliyah shot back. Principal Higgins rubbed his temples. "Enough," he turned to the teachers. "Is it true? Did Tyler and his friends instigate this?" Mrs. Carter, the history teacher, spoke up. "I saw it. They've been harassing Naomi for months, and today they shoved her first." The room erupted, but Naomi wasn't listening. She was staring at Tyler, Jason, and Marcus, their heads down, their confidence shattered. They had never looked so small. A week later, 3 things happened. The bullies were suspended. The school started an anti-bullying program. Naomi Williams became a legend. Kids who had once ignored her now nodded in respect. Even teachers smiled when she passed. But the best moment came at home. Aaliyah tossed Naomi a protein bar and grinned. So, when's your first MMA fight? Naomi laughed, really laughed, for the first time in months. She had stood up for herself. She had faced her fears. And she had learned something the bullies never would. True strength isn't in your fists. It's in your heart. Thanks for watching.